Welcome back to our series on making the lower nose bowl for Earl's Buttercup. This is part 2 of the series. You saw part 1, prepping the mold. This is part 2, laying up the part in that mold. The first step in this process, very similar to making the mold off of the plug, is going to be to apply the gel coat. I'm going to start by applying 1 coat of gel coat. I'm going to let that dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to apply a 2nd coat of gel coat. The first coat of gel coat will be in this section of the video.
Okay, so the PVA is mostly dry. I say mostly because it's dry everywhere except for it's about 95% dry right in here in this radius. Sometimes it collects a little bit in the tight corners. That's the lowest part of this mold as it sits on the table. So it's not quite 100% dry right there, but I'm going to start with gel coat. By the time I get to that spot, it'll be pretty good, pretty much ready to go. So we're going to mix up some gel coat and apply that with a brush. Let that dry for probably overnight. So again, we want to apply the gel coat as evenly as possible. We also want to make sure we apply it somewhat thick. It will flow out a little bit. We got to get it on there fairly fast so that it doesn't start to gel before it has a chance to flow. But again, the PVA is fragile, so this first pass of gel coat is really, it's critical that you don't destroy the PVA or damage the PVA in the process of applying this first coat, because if you do, you're in trouble. You'd be ripping all this off of there and starting over.
The next step is to apply a thin layer of fabric, the thinner the better, to get it to lay down tight in all the corners of the mold. That's the most important step to get it to adhere to the gel coat.
All right, welcome back to the shop today.
Well, the boss is in.
The boss is here. Welcome, Earl, to the palace of chaos, dirt, dust, smell. It's not very user-friendly materials from a smell perspective. What we have is 2 coats of gel coat in the mold. So again, to recap, a couple coats of wax, PVA, coat of gel coat yesterday, last night, and then this morning. The 2nd coat of gel coat is on here. It's a little bit tacky. It's going to be a little fragile for us. And Earl has arrived back from vacation, and we're going to make this part. So
I stayed away long enough, so I didn't have to do this much work. So.
Welcome back. Today will be 4 ounce, or actually a veil fabric, like a 2 ounce, or something like that. No, it's a 4 ounce, sorry. So a 4 ounce fabric.
That goes on first?
This is going to go in first. 2 layers of 6 ounce. We'll do some reinforcement around the lip with some 10 ounce strips, and then we'll put a layer of 6 ounce in last to cap it all off. Those 4 layers should be enough. If not, we can reinforce it afterwards after we get it out of the mold. So we're going to start here. We're going to mix up some resin, and we're going to get to work. Grab the tail of that. Can you see the center line mark right there? It's pretty close. So just put it This is where it's going to be really fragile, is right up here in the end, close to the end. So it's gonna have to be caught.
Here, Earl and I continue to work the fabric into the mold to lay it down without any air bubbles. As I continue to push the air bubbles out and make critical cuts to fit the fabric smoothly, Earl grabs the resin and starts to brush in the resin to really work that into the surface so we can get this first layer down and be ready for the next layer.
Looks like Britson's having some fun off South Africa.
Yeah, it sure is, isn't he? I think he flew 7 airplanes the other day. He's the real AW. He's the genuine AW. He has so many buddies.
After you've applied the first layer, you can either wait for it to dry a little bit if you want to laminate, or if it's stuck pretty good in there, you can begin applying the next layers of fabric. And this is multiple layers of fabric. So in our case, we're going to apply 2 or 3 layers of 6-ounce per yard fabric.
That's the back edge. You're right.
Yep. Just start laying it down in there.
Is there any warning?
None if you can get away with it. I would lay it right along the edge. Possible. I mean, if it doesn't lay down, then so we gotta get it to lay in the center first. Just gotta pull the other up. Start wetting it down.
Much the same way that we put the first layer in, we're going to put the second layer in, and then the third layer, and whatever else we're going to need to put in, exactly the same way. This second layer is a 6-ounce per yard. We're going to put a second layer of 6-ounce per yard, so that'd be 3 layers total before we apply the heavier fabric along the edges as needed, and then button it up.
Yeah, you have to give it a slice over here. Yeah, somewhere in here. All the way down to about here, probably. Bring it down another 4 or 5 inches. There you go. That'll work. Oh yeah, that'll look nice. You see those scissors again?
After we've applied enough layers of 6-ounce fabric, we're going to strengthen up the edges around the lip and around the openings with some 10-ounce fabric strips just to give it some more thickness and rigidity in the areas that are needed. And last but not least, to tie it all together, we're going to put one more final large covering, one single layer of 6-ounce fabric to kind of tie everything in and hide everything, make it look a little neater on the inside. Okay, so this is the final layer. It's a 6 ounce per yard. It covers most of the entire surface in one piece with a small couple of relief cuts. One thing to note is I forgot to put the styrene wax in the last mix of resin. That would have let the resin dry, but it would have been very tacky. So the fix for that is just to put some PVA in the gun and spray some PVA on top of that, and everything's okay. We hope you liked this video. We appreciate you watching. Again, like, share, subscribe. Please send us your comments. Go into the comment section. Tell us what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Ask questions. We'll try to answer them. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Whitman Buttercup. If you want to buy plans to build a Buttercup, looseair.com. We appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. We hope that they're informative. And stay tuned for part 3 when we pop this part out of the mold. We'll show you what it looks like, and then we're going to be following it up with some more short videos of finishing the part up, getting it on the airplane, and you'll get to see it, in the final stages before paint. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Good job, Earl.